Normally, earning respect takes years of demonstrating high character, but there are exceptions, and that's why in this video we'll cover 6 psychological tricks that you can use to command more respect almost instantly. And to do it, we'll be breaking down some of the most commanding presences that we've covered on this channel. The first trick to immediately command more respect is to upgrade your thin slice. People can make their first judgment on whether or not they like someone within just 5 seconds of seeing them. And it's dramatized, but we've all experienced the sense of liking someone as soon as we saw them, like in the scene from Crazy Stupid Love.
He is funny. He looks like a carrot, honey.
Who looks like a carrot? Hi.
Thin slices are necessarily shallow judgments, and it can be tempting to chalk yours all up to genetic luck of the draw. But you do not have to be Ryan Gosling or Emma Stone to have a strong thin slice. In fact, one massive lever in your direct control is your clothes. Now, the mistake that most people make here is dressing with the subconscious goal of blending in. Because they're subconsciously scared of being judged, they dress like everyone around them to avoid even being noticed. And I don't want to focus too much on this, but there are 2 quick fixes. First, to start dressing one level nicer than the situation calls for, which will get you noticed in a positive way, and that's exactly what you see from Ryan Gosling in Crazy Stupid Love. And second is to focus much more on finding a brand that fits and flatters your body type rather than on finding the most expensive brand you can afford. Now, after you're styled, the next easy trick to influence your thin slice and immediately command more respect is to physically take up more space. Watch here as Tony Robbins own the space around him when he speaks and how it captivates his listener.
You know, $300 a week, no, $2,500 excites him more, that memory to this day, than even the $1 million, you know, he did in his first 24-hour version, right? Or you breaking the 4 minute mile, $1 million, that must have been out of your mind. Tell me about that for a second.
Now, physically taking up more space doesn't have to mean huge hand gestures that demand the spotlight. It can be as simple as sitting asymmetrically or taking up your entire seat. And the goal here isn't to encroach on anyone else's space in some kind of dominance game. In fact, you can always adjust to make more room for the people around you. It's to subcommunicate that you aren't afraid of being seen with your body. And that's exactly what restrained gestures and shrinking body language do. The easiest way to take up more space in a non-invasive way is with your own posture.
Oh, wait.
Next time that you're about to enter a room, just take a second to roll your shoulders back a few times and increase the space between the bottom of your ribs and your hip bones. This will make you stand taller, and you'll notice an immediate difference in how you feel as well as how people look at you. Now, the next trick is closely related to taking up more space, and it's to get comfortable with platonic touching. And yes, this one is on pause for the duration of social distancing, but generally speaking, most Westerners are awkward when it comes to making physical contact with others. For instance, waving hello instead of handshaking, and generally avoiding any physical contact after that initial greeting. But touch is integral to human connection, and not just with romantic partners. Touch builds trust and creates a feeling of safety and of closeness. It's one of the ways Oprah Winfrey connects with people so quickly. Now, obviously, this has to be done correctly, otherwise you can create discomfort. And there's 4 key principles for making sure that your touch is appropriate and well received. First, keep your touch to non-central areas of the body, like the hands, the arms, the shoulders, and the upper back. Second, keep each touch to roughly under 5 seconds. And if your touch lingers longer than that, it can start to feel creepy. Third, be a universal toucher. Give a caring touch to the people around you regardless of your attraction to them, and you'll come across as friendly and confident. But if you focus on just one person that you might have a crush on, you can seem weird and even predatory. And fourth, be mindful of how people react and of course calibrate accordingly. If you see someone stiffen or lean back, then you've gone too far and need to pull back yourself. Don't be like Seinfeld's close talker friend who is completely unaware of people's reactions.
Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Aaron. So how long are you folks in town?
Now that we've covered body language in our first tips, let's talk about the first trick that has to do with what you say. And if you want to instantly command more respect from the people around you, then don't allow yourself to be cut off mid-sentence. Most people think it's polite to stop talking when someone interrupts them in conversation. But when you let someone bulldoze you into shutting up, you're signaling that their opinions take precedence over yours. And this is especially true in group conversation. Regardless of your political affiliation, if you've watched the Republican primaries in 2016, you saw this play a big part in Trump's ability to make his opponents look weak.
As a candidate, he supports federal taxpayer funding for Planned Parenthood. I disagree with him on that. That's a matter of principle, and I'll tell you.
You are the single biggest liar. You probably are worse than Jeb Bush. You are the single biggest liar. All right.
This guy lied. Let me just tell you.
Now, to be clear, that doesn't mean that you want to step on other people and hog the spotlight, talking nonstop, or even talk more than others. But to command respect, you should always finish your sentences when you have the floor, even if someone is trying to talk over you. Watch how quickly a young Jaden Smith gives up on being heard in this next clip.
But yeah, no, that is something. You guys.
That'll get you really humble.
How does that keep you humble?
No, the truth.
Well, because people sort of often ask, you know,
Now compare that to Jaden's father, Will, here.
what's going on the internet.
But don't they just say you're cute and stuff? Like, don't
No.
they say great
No,
things
no,
about
no,
you?
no, God,
Will Smith, I liked him in Bad Boys, but he got some big ass ears.
Dude.
By coming in just a little bit louder than everyone else and making his sentence unstoppable, Will gets his joke heard, gets a big laugh from the audience, and immediately Bradley Cooper is excited to hop onto Will's conversational thread. Now, another perfect example is Russell Brand in the viral interview he did with MSNBC.
I wouldn't do that. I don't want to disrespect your program.
Okay, no,
but you did ask to see.
No, I did,
boots,
and I
you're
liked
a fellow English woman, so
And we
I felt
do-
obliged.
Notice, he doesn't yell, he doesn't rush to finish, he simply continues unfazed at his normal pace until he's completed his thought, then he defers. If this is something you'd like to learn more about, we have a full video on how to stop people from talking over you that I'm going to link to in the top right corner and the description box below. Just one last caveat on this is most important in groups. If you're talking one-on-one with someone, you do not need to worry about this nearly as much. But moving along, the next counterintuitive psychological trick is to compliment your competition. The opposite, trying to tear down another person's successes or talents, is a great way to quickly lose respect. Even if you feel justified in your opinion, sharing it makes you look bitter and jealous.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
On the contrary, actually praising your opposition shows a confidence that very few people have. For example, here's Jordan Peterson, who is religious, speaking about atheists and atheism.
There's a good case to be made for atheism. I mean, let's make no bones about it. Because you could say in some sense there's been 300, 400 years of brilliant scientists who've been doing nothing but laying the foundation for an objective empirical atheism.
If you show this type of respect for an opponent's beliefs and achievements, people will immediately be more open to what you have to say, and they'll respect you for admitting that there is strength on the opposite side as well.
I am here tonight to say a few words about an American hero that I've come to know very well and admire very much, Senator John McCain.
Now, bringing it back to your own life, two areas that this may apply are in work and in dating. For instance, when you elevate a coworker by complimenting their work, you elevate yourself as well because you show that you're fair, honest, and confident. On the flip side, in dating, if you badmouth someone because you think your crush might like them, you actually just make yourself seem insecure and petty and turn off your crush in the first place. Now, there are exceptions to this, of course. There are people who can trash talk their rivals in a way that commands tons of respect. Muhammad Ali is a prime example of that.
Hands to the right. What a beautiful swing, and the punchless Frazier clean out of the ring. Who would have thought when they came to the fight that they would have witnessed the launching of a colored satellite?
This works for Ali and Conor McGregor because not only are they in environments where trash talking is encouraged, but there's also humor and over-the-topness to what they say. That humor is what turns a potentially arrogant statement into a fun, confident one. Now, the last trick to instantly command more respect is to openly share your shortcomings. Most people incorrectly think that you have to hide your flaws, put on a strong front, and fake it till you make it, right? The truth is more nuanced, and that's because people can sense when you're hiding something, especially if you're overcompensating.
Hi, would you mind taking a picture with us?
Oh, sure. Start figuring out where he is.
Sorry to hear that Jane dumped you.
She didn't dump me, you know. I dumped her. It's a mutual dumping.
In reality, people do not judge you on your shortcomings. They judge you on how you perceive your shortcomings. By being open about your imperfections, you show that you're not afraid to be seen as you are. And this is the genius behind the final rap battle in 8 Mile. Rather than pretend to be someone he isn't, Eminem owns the quote-unquote bad things about himself and wins the battle, ending the movie.
I did get jumped by all 6 of you chumps.
When you share your flaws and they don't embarrass you, it shows massive confidence. You can just watch the reaction that Brad Pitt gets for this award acceptance speech.
Let's be honest, it was a difficult part. A guy who gets high, takes his shirt off, and doesn't get on with his wife. It's a big stretch. It's big.
But you do need to know how to use this trick properly so that it doesn't backfire, and the key is all in the delivery. You have two strong options here. You can say your shortcomings as a joke, like Brad does here, or you can say it as a simple statement of fact with strong eye contact, no stutter, and a downward tone.
I had my ass kicked by a ragged band of elves.
Any man willing to paint himself in the shadow of his failures will make for far more interesting conversation this night. Come, Witcher. Take a seat by my side while I change.
Now, all these tips work excellently, but they are hugely enhanced by deep, authentic confidence. And if you want to learn more about developing authentic confidence so that these tips become more second nature to you, you might be interested in our course, Emotional Mastery. Emotional Mastery is a 30-day program that is designed to help you master your emotions and your subconscious beliefs so that you consistently feel better than you might think is possible. And the goal of the course is to raise the baseline level of joy that you feel on a day-to-day basis, which naturally spills over into boosted confidence. Now, the way this works is by focusing first and foremost on your relationship with yourself. This means exercises that get you in touch with feelings that you may have been repressing for a long time so that you can put an end to those moments where you're being controlled by fear of rejection, failure, or conflict. Now, a very common outcome is that members of the course realize that they want to share everything they've learned in their lives and help other people on their own personal development journeys. So I've actually added a bonus section that is a crash course in starting a YouTube channel. This is something that I made at the very beginning of my channel. We had only 20,000 subscribers, so it's a very tactical explanation of how to build a following from zero if that's something that interests you. Now, this is only the second time that I've spoken about emotional mastery on the channel before because we normally only offer it to people who have joined our email list or the Charisma University program. And that means that there's actually no sales page explaining what the course is about. It's just a checkout page. So if this is something that intrigues you and you're curious and you want to know more, the best way to check it out is just to check out the course directly with the link below. And you can do that knowing that the course comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee that is absolutely for any reason at all. There's nothing that you need to do, nothing to fill out. You just go to the billing section, hit refund, and you'll get every penny back if you do it within those 60 days. But I do hope that you check this course out because it addresses how to live with more joy in your life and how to be less controlled by negative emotions that might be limiting you, and they tend to limit most people. This is what I'm most excited about, and I'm continually working to improve this course. It's also something that's perfect for use during quarantine. So if you'd like to join now, go ahead, click the link below. I hope to see you on the inside. Either way, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.